This is Tom Fox. I'd like to welcome you to the newest addition to the Compliance Podcast Network, the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. Join us as we explore the latest trends from the Department of Justice, share some best practices, demystify complex compliance issues to help keep your organization doing business ethically and in compliance, and at the end of the day, more profitably. Tune in daily for your dose of compliance wisdom. Let's make compliance a little less daunting, one tip at a time. Now a word from the sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, Ethico.
In compliance, the value of anonymous reporting is undeniable. But with Ethico, anonymity doesn't mean a loss of connection. Our blinded, two-way communication fosters an environment of trust and confidentiality, encouraging open and honest dialogue. It's not just about receiving reports. It's about understanding the story behind each one, creating a culture of integrity and respect. Transform your approach to anonymous reporting with Ethico. Begin your journey at ethico.com/CPN, where you can book a demo, access an exclusive white paper by Tom Fox titled The ROI of Compliance, and utilize our free ROI calculator.
Today on the Compliance Tip of the Day, we look at employee trust. Trust become employees is becoming increasingly in shorter and shorter supply in the corporate world. The crisis of trust strains the remote working, wearing down corporate culture and people's goodwills. In many companies and industries, there's a shift from the positive. We figured this virtual thing out. The critical element is the recognition that trust in their organizations and individuals' relationships and the organization is fundamentally at risk. All of this means there is an even more critical time for employees, or rather organizations, to work to rebuild and maintain trusting relationships with and among their employees. Those who do not do so risk far more than lower morale. The chances of increased attrition, lower productivity, and stalled innovation also loom large. CCOs and compliance professionals are charged with overseeing culture and must address these underlying issues in order to build a sustainable model of trust. What can a CCO or compliance professional do? Monitoring is not the answer. It's usually indeed counterproductive. There will always be gaps in the monitoring process. Moreover, employees perform to measure, not to objective, which of course destroys any hope of getting any real work done. Finally, monitoring itself, it actually makes the problem worse because it increases burnout and employee dissatisfaction and undermines firm morale. There are few stronger signals that you don't trust someone than putting them under surveillance. So a key to success is communicating in the age of change, which of course is what we're in now. You must recognize the critical importance of helping employees understand what they can count on. This type of communication also reduces stress and anxiety. And just as the department says, you got to lead, a critical first step is not to assume to build trust as you do. If you're building the evidence of your trust case, your counterpart is trusting you on arrival, and it's a critical eye that you must perform literally every day on an ongoing basis. Widespread remote work is here to stay. Company leaders who want to maintain morale and avoid negative outcomes like increased attrition need to reestablish trust among their employees. Compliance professionals, well, this is our job. And psychological safety, trust, culture, they're all directly in the compliance function, and you have to work to get these back. This month's sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, including this podcast, is Ethico. Have you ever wondered about the ROI of your compliance program or had concerns with presenting budget proposals to your CFO? Well, I partnered with Ethico to write a white paper on the ROI of compliance and how you can think through compliance as an investment strategy. Ethico has put together a ROI calculator for you. Check them out on the website. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily. And frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The compliance tip of the day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network.